Hello, everybody, and welcome to a CLNS Red Sox Roundtable Opening Day edition. I'm Alex Barth, joined by Mike Petraglia and Nick Quaglia. And as the Red Sox open the season for 2018, they do so with a new manager, John Farrell out, Alex Cora in. We'll get our first look at him today. It's been an interesting history for Red Sox first-year managers. Terry Francona won a World Series. Bobby Valentine, I think it's safe to say, unmitigated disaster. And then John Farrell, first-year World Series. So Alex Cora trying to break the chain. We hope he's not an unmitigated disaster. But what does he have to do in your guys' mind? Nick, we'll start with you. One thing, if you could pick one thing about the Farrell regime that you want to see Cora handle differently, what would it be?
It's got to be the clubhouse culture and just the respect around the manager, because I think we saw it last year. I think the team really started to dwindle in regards to, we respect this guy. We think that this guy can lead us. You saw it really with Dustin Pedroia, the locker room. Dustin Pedroia is undermining him. The locker room, the clubhouse. It just seems like nobody's really being cohesive with each other. We heard Xander Bogaerts a few weeks ago when spring training really started say that there were people fighting in the clubhouse, bickering in the clubhouse. We have David Price on the team playing, yelling at Dennis Eckersley and berating him in front of the entire team, and then other teammates and Red Sox players standing up and clapping for that. That kind of stuff needs to stop this year. We need to have the Red Sox focus on baseball, and I think Alex Cora is going to be able to get them to focus on baseball. Something I heard Dallas Braden say of Barstool Sports, actually, he was on Dale and Keefe of VEI. He said today that he's worked hand in hand with Cora. One of the best attributes of Alex Cora is that he's a great communicator. Now, we heard that with John Farrell too, but for whatever reason, I believe that more with Alex Cora. He seems to have a little bit more of a personality, and he's a fiery Puerto Rican. This guy has a temper. This guy has a temper, and we know the story. He was drunk on the team bus last year. He yelled at somebody. The guy has a temper, and I don't think the guy takes crap. I think John Farrell was kind of a doormat last year, and people could just walk right over him. He had no control over the clubhouse. I think Alex Cora will have control over the clubhouse, and he needs to if this team's going to do anything this year.
All right, Trags, what do you got for us?
Well, I think Alex Cora is going to have much more of a calming influence on that clubhouse, as much as, you know, the story that Alex Cora apologized for last year with what happened on the team bus and whatnot. I think he's going to have a calming influence, and I think they're going to get a sense early on that he is going to manage the game with authority, and I mean the bullpen. And the one thing I want to see Alex Cora kind of change in the way this team was run from last year to this year is I want to see the starting pitchers get you to the sixth inning and then pretty much turn it over to the bullpen. The bullpen's not quite Yankee caliber, but it's still a very big strength, I think, of this team. And I want to see these pitchers preserved as they, move into the dog days of summer. Obviously, the Red Sox have to get wins and have to start piling up wins early in the season. But as the season progresses, I want to see a manager who has confidence in everyone out in that bullpen at any particular time. Much has been made of the fact that Alex Cora said that he's willing to use Craig Kimbrell or use possibly Joe Kelly in save opportunities early in the game, seventh or eighth inning. I'm curious to see if he's going to be a man of his word and actually do that.
And Trags, you mentioned that, and it's not the only non-conformatory thing Alex Cora's talked about, whether it's being more aggressive on the base paths. He's talked about hitting J.D. Martinez second, regularly fluctuating the lineup. Do you think the old school Boston baseball fans, and there's few left, but they still are a core demographic of this team, do you think the old school, pre-2004, grew up in the bleachers of center field at Fenway baseball fan will buy into what Alex Cora is selling in the way he's going to manage their ball club?
Of course they will if they win. I mean, I think that's an easy question to answer, Alex, and no disrespect to you, and it's a natural question to ask. But if that guy out, that 54-year-old fan out in the center field bleachers that grew up with, the not exactly the dream team of 67, but the 75 Red Sox, if he sees this team winning games with J.D. Martinez batting second, he's not going to care. He's just going to count the wins and put them away in the backside as he goes out the gates at the end of the night. But if they struggle and this team doesn't look like it's consistent from one night to the next night, or from 1 week to the next, then I think you're going to open yourself up for a little bit of criticism. But I think early on, Alex Cora's got to get a feel of what is he most comfortable with in terms of a lineup early in the season. That's why a lot of fans are going to have to be patient with Alex Cora. Again, him stressing this week that we have to believe in the process that we're going to implement here in Boston. It can't be based on the results from one night to the next.
And before we wrap it up here, Nick, I'll save the last question for you. Talked about it at the top of the segment. You have the scale from Terry Francona to Bobby Valentine. It's been a wild first year for managers the last couple of years for the Red Sox. Now, I'm not asking you to predict either World Series or last place finish, but you could, if you see Alex Cora's first year as Red Sox manager going one way or the other, is he more Terry Francona or is he more Bobby Valentine? Which way are you leaning?
I think he will 100% land more towards Terry Francona. Because I think it is very difficult to be anywhere near Bobby Valentine.
He was bad.
He was real bad. He was real bad. He was here for the show. He was
one word, guys. He was arrogant.
And he was arrogant.
Don't get the sense that Alex Cora is arrogant. No. He's very humble.
No, in real fact, Bobby Valentine actually thinks that his restaurant created the wrap sandwich. So that guy is very arrogant. No, but there's no way that he could be even close to Bobby Valentine. If we're going to rank 1, 2, 3, 4, it's tough to even put Cora number 2 because John Farrell won a World Series. But I don't think they're going to win the World Series. But
let me ask you this then. Let me flip the question here, and Trags, you can answer too before we wrap it up. One word answer. If Cora, and this is going way down the road, but it's opening day, we're going to have a fantasy here. If Alex Cora does win a World Series in his first year, or what would Alex Cora need to do in his first year to move to number 2, to move above John Farrell and below Terry Francona on the Red Sox recent manager list? What would he need to accomplish in this first year?
Get to the World Series.
Get to the World Series. Nick?
Get to Game 7 of the ALCS.
Okay. I'm somehow in between the two of you. I know I can't be.
That's
but
impossible.
I feel like knowing who I feel like I should say going to the World Series, but knowing who the Astros and Yankees are, if he can take one of those teams to Game 7, I'm going to feel pretty good. Overall, I think high hopes for Alex Cora as he begins his reign as manager of the Boston Red Sox. Alex Cora, by the way, if you didn't know it, is bald. If you don't want to be bald, you can check out forhims.com. I know these transitions are getting wilder and wilder, right?
I love it.
Wait till we get to football season. Check out forhims.com. Gentlemen, did you know it's easier to keep the hair you have than replace the hair you've lost? So make sure you get on that while it's still up there. forhims.com/report, and you get a $5 trial of their hair restoration system. But you got to act fast. While supplies are limited. forhims.com/report to get on that. Well, we'll have plenty of coverage both after opening day and throughout the season on clnsmedia.com and at Red Sox CLNS on Twitter. So give us a follow there. For Mike Petraglia and Nick Quaglia, my name's Alex Barth. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.